ghosting past three Bournemouth players, the movement, the control, the first touch. This guy is elite. You can argue he's not world class yet, but I think he's borderline top class to world class. And I think in the next few years, Jesus will be confirmed as a world class striker. His dribbling, his speed, his tenacity, his presence from the front, his awareness. This guy is just top quality. He's top quality. So the banter of him being a reject, I think is overflowed. I think is, like I said, I think it's daft. If you have watched football and you understand football and you're being truthful, not banter, I get if you're doing banter, you can say whatever you want to say. But if you're going to be objective, come on, you can't tell me Jesus is a reject. He's a fan. Even though I personally love Jesus and I wanted him, I couldn't believe when we're linked to him, they acquire him, just gave me this excitement beyond normal. Why? If you remember the game last season that he got Gabriel Center, I like mentioning that analogy all the time. The way he turned Gabriel, I rate Gabriel very highly. Gabriel Magalhaes, our defender, our left-sided center half. I think he's a fantastic top defender that will become world class at time goes. He's still young, so he still has time to do that. But the way he turned him, the way he made him look so ordinary, showed me something that this guy was good. And I remember Jesus scoring like 2 or 3 times against against Arsenal, and I saw his pattern of play. I've seen him exhibit that Brazilian play once in a while. I just know this guy was going to be a top player. But like I said, the system at Manchester City was stifling him. Now he's at Arsenal, he's free to do what he wants to do, even though he's within a system, but he's allowed to be more expressive. And we are seeing the rewards. See, that first goal, even though the assist might be given to Martinelli, Jesus did all the work. Ghosting past three Bournemouth players. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Like the video if you enjoy the content. Subscribe to the channel, very important for the upgrading, and turn on notification bell so when I drop these videos, you can get notified and you can watch them. And like I said, while watching them, do not forget to stick a like. How was the victory yesterday against Baltimore at the Vitality Stadium? I loved it. Not because I've got 3 victories out of 3. It's the performance that gives me this zest, that gives me this excitement, that raises my expectations. Not just the victory, the performance was superb. Let's start from the beginning. Oh, it's just preseason. Let's wait to the first game. Arsenal fans stop getting excited. Jesus is Manchester United's reject. Zinchenko is a reject. Why are you guys picking up reject and getting excited? You guys are a banter club. Really? Let's follow that logic trail. So by that logic, Salah is Roma's reject. Henry, one of the best players we've ever had in our history as Arsenal, is Juventus reject. Wow. I would like to take more of Manchester City's reject. By that logic, by your logic, any player that has come in from other leagues or when you buy from other competitors, you are buying their reject. How lame, how daft, how stupid that logic is. I get it, it's banter, but when Arsenal fans follow that train of thought too, this is ridiculous. I guess as some Arsenal fans that there's nothing you can do to please them. You guys are traumatized, you might have personal issues. You don't need to project it on the club. So let's stick on the topic. Arsenal's performance at the Vitality Stadium was superb. Jesus for the 3rd week. How good is Jesus, guys? Leave in the comment section. I want to know your opinion. How good is Jesus? I think Pep did not get the best of Jesus, which is fair sometimes. Not all managers will get the best of certain players. I think the rigidity of Manchester City and the system stifled the natural ability and natural flair Jesus likes to play with. I'm not saying he shouldn't stay within the system. Even within the system, players should be able to exhibit their flair, their personality. So I think at Man City, even though I personally love Jesus and I wanted him, I couldn't believe when we're linked to him, they acquire him, just gave me this excitement beyond normal. Why? If you remember the game last season that he got Gabriel Center, I like mentioning that analogy all the time. The way he turned Gabriel, I rate Gabriel very highly. Gabriel Magalhaes, our defender, our left-sided center half. I think he's a fantastic top defender that will become world class at time goes. He's still young, so he still has time to do that. But the way he turned him, the way he made him look so ordinary, showed me that something that this guy was good. And I remember Jesus scoring like 2 or 3 times against Manchester, against Arsenal, and I saw his pattern of play. I've seen him exhibit that Brazilian play once in a while. I just know this guy was going to be a top player. But like I said, the system at Manchester City was stifling him. Now he's at Arsenal, he's free to do what he wants to do, even though he's within a system, but he's allowed to be more expressive. And we are seeing the rewards. See, that first goal, even though the assist might be given to Martinelli, Jesus did all the work. Ghosting past 3 Bournemouth players, the movement, the control, the first touch. This guy is elite. You can argue he's not world class yet, but I think he's borderline top class to world class. And I think in the next few years, Jesus will be confirmed as a world class striker. His dribbling, his speed, his tenacity, his presence from the front, his awareness. This guy is just top quality. He's top quality. So the banter of him being a reject, I think is overflowed. I think is, like I said, I think it's daft. If you have watched football and you understand football and you're being truthful, not banter, I get if you're doing banter, you can say whatever you want to say. But if you're going to be objective, come on, you can't tell me Jesus is a reject. He's a fantastic addition to Arsenal, and I'm sure a lot of the rival fans will not want to play against him. Even Pep, I'm sure, will not be looking forward to playing against Jesus. So the second goal, Odegaard, Jesus dribbles through the box, and he had the ball, had a run, trying to shoot, and Odegaard takes it up. Now, I've been hearing a few people coming against Odegaard. I know sometimes Odegaard seems quiet, but when he's quiet, he still does his job. He puts in a shift, he's leading the press, he's attacking, he keeps the ball tick. You have to understand total football to understand certain times that when players are quiet, not all the time are they being useless. Against Crystal Palace, he was not the most aesthetic placing to the eye, but he was putting in a shift, linking the play, pressing, tackling, doing his job. Against Leicester, the same thing. Now, against Baltimore, he has scored 2 goals. Oh, it's just Baltimore. Can we stop this nonsense? But if it was Haaland that scored 2 or 3 goals against Baltimore, oh, he's still a world-class striker. Why are we flip-flopping on the rules for a certain player and changing other players because you don't like the team? Come on, let's just be objective. I heard people calling him Fraudiga. Can you imagine Ransom Barnes calling Odegaard Fraudiga? He is better than all the players in your midfield at Manchester United. This beef pattern is calling and questioning our players. Why your team is in the mud? Wow, very, very interesting to say. Very, very interesting. Right now, Arsenal is playing one of the best football in the league. We are winning convincingly. We are not just limping over the line like the clowns at North London. Did you see the game against Wolves? We know this supposedly world-class manager does 5 at the back, a few husky and husky midfielders, then cross the ball to Harry Kane and Son on hope that they'll score. Is that a formation? Is that a tactic that a world-class manager should deploy? Just live on hope that Harry Kane and Son or Kulusevski will score. Wow. Interest, even though we have Jesus, who is a top-class striker, we see do the movement, the passing, the creativity. You can see we present total football. I'd rather watch that and win trophies than to live on hope and win no trophy. Remember, I think a few weeks ago, Sky Sports were saying Spurs have had the best transfer window. And I said then, I debated that that's impossible. They just beefed up their squad with squad members. Arsenal bought, we bought in Zinchenko, is in our first team. Jesus is our first team. And you can see the difference. Compared to Spurs, who bought Bissouma, Richarlison, Spence, Perisic, these guys can't get to their starting 11 yet. And nothing has changed. They are still pedestrian, they are still passive, yet they have the best transfer window. Like I always say, use your IQ, use your brain. Do not let content creators or the mainstream just brainwash you to believe in anything possible. Staying on the Bournemouth game, we saw the 3rd goal. We dominated the game. Everybody looked the part. The passing, the movement, the pace, the tenacity was fantastic. We know Ramsdale had a few hairy moments. Guys, stop being overly critical. There is no football match that is absolutely perfect. So, hairy moments are part of the game. Hairy moments are part of the game. You just have the best players to make sure that those hairy moments do not lead to fatal consequences all the time, which means that you don't concede too many goals. You limit the risk at the back of conceding goals and limit the risk of conceding or submitting your leads. It's impossible to have a perfect game. Can we just be real? Let's stop this nonsense by overly analyzing, overly criticizing, micromanaging every moment. Come on, even Man City and Liverpool have every moment in their game. Just that they have the top class defenders and a goalkeeper that make sure those moments do not lead to them conceding goals. And we've done well. What about Saliba? This guy is colossal. This guy is a fantastic. For me, he's the best young defender in the world. No question. Unless you are living under a rock, unless you are up with your agenda or you're just exhibiting prejudice. You can't tell me at 21 years old, there's a better 21-year-old defender in the world aside from Saliba right now. And you cannot tell me the decision for the club and Arteta to send him on loan has not been profitable. You might have your reservation about Arteta and Edu and the rest of the club's hierarchy, but they have made the best decision and it's looking fantastic. It's looking great. Putting him last year or 2 years ago into the team, a team that was devoid of ideas, a team that had no identity, a team that was in crisis, it would have shattered his confidence, would have made him or built him to the Saliba we have right now. Sometimes I know it's hard for you lots to give Arteta, Edu, and the club their flowers, but come on, be objective, be sensible. You're a human being, you can get it wrong too. I can get it wrong, you can get it wrong. Stop sitting on your high horse and say, I won't give them the credit. No, they should have done. No, shut up. It's easy to be on the other side. It's easy to be to live on hindsight privileges. Let's not be silly. Give Arteta, Edu, and the rest of the club head their flowers for making the right decision. I'm not saying they've not made some terrible decisions. We can criticize those decisions, but when they make the right decision, let them give them their flowers too. They deserve it. And Arsenal is looking great. And all this nonsense. Remember, like I said in the beginning of this video, it's just preseason, but the form has continued. It's just the first game. It's just Crystal Palace. It's just Leicester City. It's just Bournemouth. Imagine we lost this game. Some people will not say it's just Bournemouth. It's just Leicester City. So you have to understand, people will move the goalposts to suit their narratives. It's suits their narratives. I can't wait for next week against Fulham. That will provide a different challenge, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm loving the team. I'm loving Ben White playing at the right back. He's doing his job, even though he's a centre half, but he's doing a fantastic job. I'm loving the midfield. I'm loving Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko is looking fantastic. It's keeping Tierney out of the team, but doesn't mean Tierney is a bad player. There's so many games to go around, and these guys will have their time. I'm loving the fact that Arteta is steadily introducing Sambi. This is the third game in a row. Is bringing him to have a few minutes. Sambi will be part of, will have significant input in this season. Watch out for Sambi. I'm sure a lot of you are not putting. Watch out for Sambi. He will have significant input this season. And I love the way that he's managing this Mitro situation. He just come back from injuries, these niggling injuries. Hopefully, he can get over those niggling injuries. The team is playing well. Let us be happy for the whole squad. There's unity in the camp. There's unity between the hierarchy. The fans, especially the fans, the fans are going to the mad going fans. Shout out to you guys. You guys are the VIP for me. On all these online trolls and fans that will do anything for views and likes. I don't rate Arsenal fans. I understand some of you want to do the business on YouTube and other platforms to make money, but you can still be objective and make money. You don't have to be disingenuous. You don't have to troll. You don't have to be vindictive to make money. Is that how poor your IQ is, that you have to do the wrong thing to make money? Come on, there are a lot of 1,001 things you can do positively and can still make money. Come on. Like I said, I'm enjoying the players. They are playing fantastic out of their skin. They are playing well and they are getting the results. It's just 3 games, but we have 9 points. We scored 9 goals and conceded 2. And I'm loving it. I'm loving the Arsenal I'm seeing right now. What do you guys think? Leave in the comment section. Are you loving the Arsenal you're seeing right now? Or you think there's room for improvement? Definitely there's room for improvement. We're not yet perfect, but I can see a steady improvement in the team. The playing pattern, the unity, the creativity in the team, the movement, and I'm loving every aspect of it. So let me do a player rating real quick. I'm going to do a player rating with the players. Let's start from the starting lineup. Let's start from the goalkeeper. Ramsdale, for me, he had a few hairy moments, but I'll still give him a 7. He was not tested that much, but his distribution was fantastic. His linear, the line from the back was good, so that's fantastic. Zinchenko for me was good. It was chucking into the midfield sometimes. His passing, his touches, his technicality was out of this world. So I'll give Zinchenko a 7. Gabriel he didn't have too much to do. The time was calling to action. He did his job steady. It was fantastic. Nothing much to do. I'll give him a steady 7. Soliba for me, I'll give him an 8 because of the fantastic goal he scored. That was a beautiful goal. We know that everybody can attest to the fact that Soliba is a world-class talent. Not a world-class player yet. He was a world-class talent. I can see him in the next future being, if he remains on this trajectory, I can see him becoming a colossal and a world-class defender in the nearest future. Ben White playing out of position. He's a center half playing as a right back. He's doing fantastic for me. He has started bombing for. He's learning on the job. This is what Ben White playing as a right back. I can see him is progressing playing as a right back better than the last against Crystal Palace. He was just a bit steady. Against Leicester, you can see the progress play a bit better. Against Baltimore, you can say, oh, Baltimore is not a big team. Let's see how the rest of the team, the rest of the other teams will fare against Baltimore. So it's easy to criticize who you're playing against, right? But you can only beat what's in front of you. Like I said, Ben White for me, I'll give him 8 because he's learning on the job and he's doing a fantastic job as a right back. Xhaka, the controversial player of Arsenal. You can love him or hate him. Like I say, I have no agenda against any individual player, but I think Xhaka has been progressing last season, but this season, he's even doing much more. And I'm loving the fact that he's choosing the moment to have a burst forward into the box. He's trying to create overloads, and I'm loving it. And he knows where to come back and do his defensive duty. Xhaka, for me, gets an 8 too. Partey, he's doing his job. You know, he has not been outstanding, but he has not been poor. He has just been there. I'll give Partey a 7, even though they had a few hairy moments. His quality dropped in the second half, but we know he's still, even though when Partey's quality drops sometimes, he's still a steady 7 for me. He's still a good player. So I'll give him a 7. Saka, people are complaining, is he under the radar? I think Saka is still playing his game, just as Jesus and Martinelli have raised their levels. Let's not be overly critical about this guy. This guy he has been a main star for 2 years, which I get it. The team was struggling then, but the team is playing better. So it's hard for 4 or 5 players to be out to be star of the game. It's hard. So the star boy Saka is still doing great, just that Jesus and Martinelli are just better at the moment. Keyword at the moment. I'll give Saka, I'll give him a 7. Odegaard scoring 2 goals yesterday, proving that he can still do his job. He can show that he's responsible of being a captain, and he can still add goals to his game. He has these people accuse, including me too. I'm a bit critical on Odegaard because I believe he gets into spaces where he can shoot and he decides to take the extra pass. But shout out to him yesterday for actually lighting it up and scoring 2 beautiful goals. So I'll give Odegaard an 8. Martinelli, he didn't score yesterday. He had some few good runs. He could have made some better decisions yesterday. I'll give him a 7. It was not his best game in terms of end product of goals, but he still played well yesterday. I give Martinelli a 7. Jesus, in my opinion, the way Jesus will go through 3 defenders to give that pass to Martinelli will not finally lay the assist for Odegaard. I will give Jesus a 9. He has been fantastic. His acquisition to the Arsenal club, acquisition to the team, and the acquisition to the starting lineup has been transformative. That solo run was the run that led to the goal, the first goal. See, he has been so transformative to the lineup and to Arsenal. So I'm giving Gabriel Jesus a 9. And for me, he's my man of the match. He didn't score yesterday, but his influences in the game, his touches, his dribbling, his runs, his hold-up play is just transformative and fantastic. Like, guys, let me know what you rate these players in the comment section. Let me know if you disagree with me on any point. Leave it respectful in the comment section. Like I said, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Ciao.